We bought an old bus that smoked a lot to be our home. No experience, not knowing anything, and never having driven one before, can you believe it? But we decided to buy it anyway and turn it into our own home, but on wheels.
And over 4 years renovating this bus, the goal was very clear: to stop renting as soon as possible.
And after a lot of struggle, we made it. Besides no longer renting, we started living our dream, living on the road, traveling.
But after a year of living this adventure, something unexpected happened. A baby is on the way.
What now? Do we have to stop everything and return to a regular house?
No, of course not. We decided to keep going and show our baby the world, the colors, and the true meaning of living life. The baby's still in the oven, but a lot is gonna change for the future.
Everything here was planned for 2, now it will be for 3. And how are we gonna fit a crib, a room, and everything else? That's a story for the next episodes.
Why didn't all this start just now? This is the second episode of our series on how it all began.
And today you're going to experience and relive with us the moment when we decided to take everything apart.
Without knowing exactly anything, but we had a lot of faith and a lot of courage. What were we getting ourselves into?
Stay with us, because what comes next is just the beginning. In the previous episode, we showed how it all began. From our desire to live on the road, the search for our bus, trading our car for our future home, the beginning of everything.
When we removed all the seats and started building our home on wheels.
If you haven't watched this episode, I'll leave a card for it here. And today is our second episode of the mini-series, How It All Began.
I'm already excited.
In this episode, we're already going to show you our decision to start taking everything apart. And I mean everything.
We say everything because our initial idea was to check the integrity of the bus, what condition it was in, and what was underneath everything we could see.
From the lining, the ceiling, the floor.
We wanted to see everything.
And it was such a satisfying feeling. No, let's take it off.
Oh guys, this is so good.
I never imagined what would happen. Some decisions we made shouldn't have been made, but anyway, we were inexperienced. It was our first motorhome and we were doing it ourselves.
And today, when I look at the result of our house, I say, guys, it's truly something from God.
And today, if I were to build another one, I would do it completely differently, much faster. And by the way, everything was done with a screwdriver by hand without any power driver at all.
It was tough, wasn't it?
That's it, guys. Now we're starting to take the luggage rack off. Look. Here are the light fixtures. Sulamita is here. She's already unscrewing 7, 8, 3, and 4. I already took this one off to see how it was. Then I passed the task on to her. She's gonna take off this whole part here. Look, the screws for the lower part of the luggage rack go here, see? We need to at least unscrew all of this here. There are the speakers.
Are there speakers?
Yeah, there are speakers here.
Really?
Yeah, right here, look.
Wow.
Cool, right?
It's worth some money.
Yeah, let's see if we can sell it.
There's even a speaker here. Imagine how many calluses we got on our hands.
Look, sometimes we even got blisters right here in the middle from holding the tool and doing this like this. Ha ha ha.
There were so many screws, so many, but it was really rewarding, you know, it was nice. It was a kind of pain that actually felt good, you know?
Yeah, and we just kept going and going.
Hunger.
The idea was to make the most of it, right?
I wanted to make the most of it, so as I took things out, I thought, I can sell this for some money. Oh, really? Then give me what it's worth.
Another part, look, wiring harnesses from the overhead luggage rack. And another thing, look how inexperienced we were, guys. We started removing this wiring harness. The main electrical component of the car, of the bus, we were about to throw it away.
So we looked at it, right? We said, wow, so many wires. Then we even thought about sending it to Uncle, right? Because Uncle used a lot of wires. Yeah, or maybe sell it, strip the copper and sell it.
Guys.
When you look at it, you think, wow, if we remove all these wires, it'll be lighter. Let's do it.
And I had no idea that this wiring harness was actually part of the bus itself in the vehicle's electrical system. I thought it was only part of the luggage racks, the little lights there, the speaker. I said, we won't need it, right? Let's throw it away. But it also carried all the car's electrical wiring, guys. Dashboard, turn signals, everything. And later on, you'll see how important that wiring harness was, guys. It almost cost us about 3,000 reais in losses.
Yeah, so if you're building your motorhome and taking it apart, don't throw the wiring harness away.
Oh, so it even makes you anxious.
It gives you a feeling, right? You say, my God, what a relief.
And after that wiring harness, we started trying to figure out how to take apart the luggage rack. Why? As Sula mentioned earlier, the plan was to sell everything. The luggage rack was in great condition.
It was very beautiful.
So beautiful, perfect, without any damage. No, guys, we need to take this out.
Let's take this out because it's going to be worth some money.
We began by learning about the cash register, the scale, and similar things. Guys, it took us so long to figure out how that luggage rack worked, how it was attached, its mechanism, that it got dark and we still hadn't figured it out, and we lost our patience. No, let's do this instead.
You know what?
Let's cut it.
Let's cut this thing.
Guys, here's the thing. It's already 7:30 at night. Outside it's raining, thank God. We're still going to work a little bit more. Here's the thing. We wanted to remove this luggage rack without damaging it because it was still very new. It's very well preserved. But honestly, it's really difficult. Even for the passenger's safety, the guys who engineered this bus did a really good job. They welded the bolts in place even to prevent vibrations so nothing would fall on people's heads. So unfortunately, we're going to have to saw everything off. We're gonna have to use the grinder here and force it out because the bolts are placed very strategically. Look, we're in pretty rough shape, aren't we? Look.
Sweaty. We're taking down all the curtains.
The curtains now, right? This process here so we can cut everything.
Isn't there a risk of sparks?
Yeah.
From the machine because we'll have to cut it, right?
We're gonna rip everything out, cut it, and let's do it. Come along with us. It was so much work just to cut this piece, and it wasn't even a big piece. It was a piece we tried to cut just to test, just to take it out. We didn't even record it. We started eating there to rest a bit because we got hungry. And then you can see in the image that the whole luggage rack is still kind of hanging.
Hanging, but it just wouldn't fall off no matter what.
Did it fall? It didn't even move. And then we saw that when we cut it, there was aluminum mixed with wood.
Then we thought, cool, at least we can take out the aluminum to sell, right?
We can't sell it whole, but we can at least separate the aluminum.
Yeah, that already gives us a little money, right?
It gives us some money. We can sell it, right? After eating there, still excited, but it was dark. I said, no, let's finish today. At least we'll finish this side today. So we kept taking it out piece by piece, piece by piece. And then the other side was left for the next day. Hey guys, today's a new day. Yesterday, once again, we forgot to hit record so you could see us taking down the overhead luggage racks, but we did it. You notice the overhead luggage rack was split into 3 sections, and I just couldn't accept it. I went to bed that day thinking, no, there has to be a way, there must be a way to remove this overhead luggage rack.
We wanted to remove it whole.
No, I wanted to, and I kept thinking about it before bed. I said, tomorrow I'll take a closer look to see where the mounting points of this luggage rack are. Because, you know, at night we couldn't even see the screws or the bars anyway.
Yeah.
And then the next day we saw that whole mess and said, let's get organized.
Organized because you can't work with all that stuff, right? So we went to clean everything up. Meanwhile, his mind was already there imagining things.
While we were cleaning up, I kept imagining what I was going to do here. I said to her, Sula, honey, let's do this. Go ahead and remove the sides and everything else. Nothing needs to be preserved. Do it however you can, and I'll try to remove this luggage rack. I'll try to figure out how to take it off.
Woo-woo. Tell everyone what you did, how much work it was.
Look! It was a lot of work to take this side off. You saw it because we didn't know the system behind this, right? So we used the grinder and everything, and I was already figuring out how I could do it, you know. And then we tried to prop it up to find out where the main screws that hold the base are. I propped it up, and now I released it. Everything is propped up. I'm gonna finish loosening the screws. Let's see if it works. It might work. And then if it works, it'll fall. It'll all come down at once.
It's gonna come crashing down, right?
Come on, let's try it in. 3, 1.
It's 1, go.
It's 2.
Bang, bang, bang.
3.
Woohoo!
It worked. We did it.
Yay!
One more.
Thanks, buddy.
You have to film here. Look.
It's Carlo. Carlo, our neighbor.
And you know what was funny? Just for our own satisfaction, right?
Why? Look.
Yeah, I kept looking down at it on the ground thinking, how am I going to get this whole thing out of here, guys? How am I going to get this out? I need to remove the windshield, the glass itself.
Exactly.
Or take off the roof, so like we had to cut it anyway. It was easy to cut since it was on the ground.
Exactly.
So we took it out, cut it, and took it out through the window. Guys, seriously, I think that thing weighed about 300 kilos.
Yeah, heavy.
It was really heavy because of the distance, you know, the whole length of it.
Yeah, and I also think it's because it has to be sturdy. You know, people have a lot of luggage, right? They put suitcases on top, so it has to be something really strong, you know?
Yes, exactly. If things start falling, they could injure passengers. Honestly, if that luggage rack fell, it could kill us all.
There's just no way. Lord have mercy.
So now we're moving on to the ceiling, right? I want to take it down since they've already removed the lining and the luggage rack, so now it's time for the ceiling. Now we're removing the stuff from the ceiling here, which is fiberglass. We're going to unscrew this whole rail.
There are lamps.
There are the lamps.
Let's take it out here. Oops, it won't come out.
It comes out here. Oh, it broke. A little piece broke off.
Diego is here. Everything's there.
Now let's take out these lights. Let's remove the headliner because we wanted to see underneath, well, not underneath, above, right? To see how it was, if there was styrofoam, if there were wires.
What the insulation was like, you know, what was inside those panels. We were really curious until we took out the first panel. Yay! It fell.
And then it was a smart decision to remove the first board because we could already see there was nothing there.
There was nothing, no insulation at all. How is that possible, right?
And for us to keep removing the ceiling, we had to take out all the lamps, all the corner pieces that made the joints, and we started tearing everything out. Now, let me talk about a feeling I had and still have today, a bit of regret, which was removing that ceiling in a way that I couldn't reuse it. Because it was also very intact, well preserved, and it was made of fiberglass. It was really sturdy, so I didn't see a solution for it. I said no, so I'll throw it all away since I won't use it here.
We threw it away.
Yeah, because it looked bad, I wasn't going to use it, right? But today I see that I could have used it. Because of how sturdy it was for keeping the original ceiling, putting it back in place, doing the thermal insulation like we're going to do later, you'll see in the next episodes, and putting it back so it can serve as a base, as a template, right? Because here we made the ceiling straight and square, but we lost about 4 centimeters of headroom, and for us who live in a motorhome, every centimeter is valuable.
For us, it doesn't matter much since we're short, right? Yes. But like when someone really tall comes in really tall, they're kind of scraping, like they're almost cleaning the ceiling.
The ceiling? But like you'll see later on that we kind of regretted this ceiling a bit, and it could have been made of wood, for example. So those pieces of wood would have fit perfectly, outlining the shape of the bus ceiling just right. Now this is the original ceiling that I removed.
Yeah, but now I'm going to give my opinion. I already have a slightly different opinion. I think like it turned out good the way it is because I think it's pretty. I don't think it's ugly when people outline it like that, do it the way he's talking about.
Because our bus is
Curved, but I think the way we did it pleases me a lot because I thought it turned out different. When someone looks, they see a house, they don't see a bus. When someone enters Gideon, they see a bus in the driver's cabin. When they come in here, they already see a house, so I think the curvature of the bus gives it a bus-like feel.
Yeah, Sula, every time I say this, when I look at the ceiling, gosh, I could have used its original roof as a base, right? As a template.
Yeah, he always says that, yeah.
She says, no, I like it straight.
I like it square like this, you know, inside the house because conventional houses, they're square like this, right? The walls are straight. So I like what I see, and the pine or wood ceiling, I don't think it would match.
With the cabinetry.
With the cabinetry in our house, with what we chose for ourselves. I think it's beautiful when people use pine ceilings and make something really rustic. I like rustic. I think if we were to build another bus and he chose that more rounded style, I would go for a more American style look, that more rustic vibe, rustic furniture. Then I think, well, bingo. But I think for this project of ours, it really had to be this option which we chose because it was cheaper. Or it could also be that shiny, shiny one, ACM too, which looks really fancy and really beautiful. However, ACM has seams, and Mozo, he's really picky. He doesn't like anything with seams. He's very, you know, his eye is very sharp for things with seams, and then he would want to cover up that seam somehow.
Also,
and then we said no.
It would also be pricier, as ACM costs much more.
So it was both because of what it cost at the time and also because of the seams, since we didn't want seams. But
it turned out beautiful, just the same. I just keep thinking, really,
how it would look.
What it would have looked like, and it would have been less work.
Oh, no, that's true.
It would have been much harder later since we struggled with those ceiling panels, right?
Yeah, we suffered a lot here, and you'll see in the upcoming episodes why that was.
When we got to the stage of working on this ceiling paneling, it was so much work, that's why...
It was so much work, I even cried.
Yeah, that's why it's important for you to carefully analyze the parts you're taking out of your car, because one of them might end up being a big help later on.
Oh, honey.
If this isn't love, the ocean dried up.
There are no stars in the sky.
Swallows don't fly anymore. If this isn't love, the sky isn't real.
Everything loses its value.
If this isn't love,
wow, that's great. She joined the congregation. Guys, in this heat...
If it's not God's love, what will become of us?
Us, right?
That's right. Although I think that's a mistake, it was great that we took everything out.
It was.
Because one of the main causes of leaks in motorhomes today is that we can't assess before construction whether there are any or not and where they're happening.
We know the bus, we look at it, we know where things are, we know everything we're seeing there.
That day while we were working, a storm came. God sent rain. We were really happy, right when we really needed rain.
Rain, blessed rain.
Blessed. Now it's actually a great time for a test to see if there are any leaks. And thank God the rain is heavy and I don't see a single drop. Thank God. Yeah, I don't think we've removed this part here yet, right? But at least on the sides, look, it's pouring rain. At least on the sides of the ceilings, there's not a single drop. Wait, everything's dry. Glory to God. Well, this is a great test. This rain came at the right time so we could see if there was really any leakage, and there really isn't anything. Thank God. At least in this first stage, let's see later when we finish removing the rest if there will be any leakage, then I'll show you, but
It can rain some more?
For now, there isn't any. Are you taking out the window side seats? I am.
And now it's just the two of us.
Oh, it's just 2 passengers, right?
No, it's 47.
47 down to 2 now.
Let's get going.
Yeah! Look, now we're gonna take out this middle part here all the way to the end. Let's see if it gives us any trouble. Let's go. I've already removed the rivets here, and now, right, let's see if it comes out, okay?
All right. I'll film it for you.
This middle part that we removed after the rain, we actually wanted to try to use it too.
It was the only one we looked at and said, no, we want to keep this, preserve it.
The interesting thing is that we kept it until almost right before the bus change, right?
We kept them. Those were the panels we saved. We thought we'd paint them or cover them and put them up. Like make a kind of molding here in the middle and all, but that didn't happen either, right? But that didn't happen either.
But then that was the end of that day, right? We looked at that room once again, all cleared out. Wow, our house is taking shape, even though it's still just the bare bones like we had just put up the columns, right? That's true. And then that gave us such satisfaction, guys. With every step we took, we felt so happy to see the bus getting closer and closer to the way we wanted it. And that day we realized there was still a lot to do and there's still a lot to show you all.
And the next step will be to remove the windows.
Whoa!
Why did we remove the windows, right?
Why didn't we leave them?
Did we regret it?
A lot of people say, why didn't you leave the windows? Oh, I wouldn't have taken out the windows, but what's behind that? How does it feel?
We'll talk about it in the next video.
So let's leave it for the next video, but before we finish, let's talk about how we're doing.
We're doing well.
How are you, Mom?
Thank God I'm well. We've entered the 4th month of pregnancy.
So we're doing well already because the doctor told her, Sula, he's growing a lot. He's even a little bigger than expected for this week, right? He's strong, beautiful, kept the doctor busy, turned onto his stomach, then onto his back.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. We couldn't even see the baby's gender yet. We don't know, but as soon as we find out, we'll come here and tell you.
We'll come here, we'll do a gender reveal party, we'll do a live stream. But we're doing well. We don't have many updates about our daily life, right? Because we only go to the doctor once a month now. So everything is very calm, but we're settled in. We're good, thank God. And soon we'll be back with more pregnancy updates, maybe with more ultrasound images.
Oh, that's true, right?
Which is coming up next, probably in the next few months. In the next few weeks, we'll be able to find out the gender.
And we'll be able to see better, right?
We'll return and let you know with more certainty, okay? Thank you so much for staying with us until the end of this video. If you made it to the end, leave a comment here and please don't leave the video before subscribing to the channel and giving a like.
And turn on the notification bell
so you don't miss any new videos from our channel. By the way, let us know in the comments if you're enjoying this series because we want to hear from you. Give us some feedback if it's good, if it's cool, if we should keep going and so on. If you have the option to boost it, boost this video for us because then this video will reach a lot more people. And YouTube will show it to new followers so everyone can get to know this new story. Can you imagine? With the baby on the road anyway, me, her, him, or her too, always together.
and God leading the way.
Always, always, until the next video.
A big kiss, a big hug.